So anyway, we're back with some beers from the Mill Street Winter Selection Pack. Two of the new ones that I've never had before. So we're going to start with the Damerung Dunkel. Traditional German-style dark lager. 5% alcohol by volume. From Mill Street in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Beautifully balanced dark lager style from Germany. Our Damerung, which is twilight in German, apparently. Dunkel is a very... I don't need to know the flavor, blah, 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 blah. Prost. Water, malted barley, and hops. And nothing else we need to know. Interested in seeing if this is any good. Alright, she's appropriately dark. Pours the Dunkel. Oh yeah. It's obviously like a deep ruby red. When I'm looking at it through the light, I can definitely see the ruby red coming through from the lamp. But man, it looks almost pitch black. Just looking at it without the light directly on it. Maybe really dark brown. Very, very dark. Honestly, even very, very dark for a Dunkel. A lot of Dunkels are usually more lighter brown in color. So, interesting. We'll go right to the aroma here. Oh, wow. That smells good. Very, very chocolatey. Thinking baker's chocolate here. Dark, or one of those chocolate bars with like 80% cocoa in it or whatever. It's definitely got that chocolate, and it's got that little roasty note in the back that spells that sort of screams espresso. Nice. Smells really good. Actually, this is probably the best smelling Mill Street beer I've had in a long while. Probably since maybe even before the vanilla porter. I think I like the smell of this better than that. Just more up my alley. Alright, cheers guys. We're going to go right to the taste. Oh, that's good. Light, medium body, maybe, or maybe upper light body. Oh man, nice roasty character to it. It's definitely got a little bit of chocolatey taste to it. A lot more coffee-ish notes come out in the actual taste and the smell. Very nice and roasty. Good roasty awesomeness. Bit one note, but Dunkels are not supposed to be, just your standard Dunkels. Are not supposed to be necessarily overly complex or nothing. They're just dark lagers. They're roasted malt dark lagers. Just like your black lagers. Nice and flavorful. Like, the way I think of it, when I consider this to compare this to your dark German lagers that are oh man, I'm totally blanking on the name of the style, because you have the Dunkels here, but there's also man, black lager, whatever the fucking name for German black lagers generally are. Those are generally much more roasty, and they're more stout-like, where the Dunkel generally, I find anyway, seems to have a bit more of a sweet notes sort of coming up through it. Thus, I think of that more as like the porter sort of version of a dark German lager. That's very good. Very, very solid. Way better than I expected it to be coming from Mill Street. I mean, not trying to shit on Mill Street, but they do release a lot of wonky products. A lot of their stuff is just a failure. This has a really nice lingering bitter roastiness in the background, and you still get some of those sweet notes as well. It does have a nice little bit of character to it. Very easy drinking, though, at the same time. I think this is actually kind of approachable, even from the standpoint of your Budweiser drinkers, people like that. I'm going to go 3.75 out of 5. So the Dämmerung Dunkel from Mill Street, and I'm probably totally butchered that name, so any Germans out there, I apologize, but I don't really apologize because I don't really care. But, I am aware that I probably butchered it. I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying I'm probably aware I butchered it, so if you don't like it, fuck you. But the Dämmerung Dunkel, 3.75 out of 5. Really excellent beer. Mill Street should release this in 6-packs. They really should. And they should send it to the NSLC, because if they did, I would buy it all the fucking time. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Goodbye. Hello guys, how you doing? We're back for another beer review. We now have the other beer from the Mill Street Winter Pack that I had not previously had. So we're going to go right into it now. This is the Mill Street A Winter's Ale. Oh, play on words, A Winter's Tale. Very clever. Strong beer flavored with honey and spices, it says. Spiced winter ale with notes of honey and ginger. 7% alcohol by volume, so this would constitute some sort of winter warmer. And traditional English style old ale. Oh, so they say it's a traditional English style old ale. Okay. Yeah, and it's spice flavors, golden malt. Don't need to know. German hops, apparently. Cinnamon, ginger, allspice, and cloves. Ingredients: water, malted barley, honey, hops, vanilla extract, and spices. Okay. So, yeah, that doesn't sound like any traditional English-style old ale I've ever fucking had, but I'll take their word for it. Well, what do I know? I'm just some asshole on the internet reviewing beers. My opinion does not count. %. Seems a little light for an old ale, but whatever. So, okay, she's a pretty deep amber, approaching red right there. Looks a little darker on the fucking camera, but take my word for it, I won't lie to you kids. We'll go right to the aroma. Oh yeah, you can get the spices. You know, right off the bat, if they had wanted to package this as their Imperial Pumpkin Ale, they could probably have gotten away with it, because honestly, a lot of the spices you smell in this, you smell in like about a zillion fucking pumpkin ales out there. I'm definitely getting the cinnamon, I'm definitely getting the ginger, I'm definitely getting the cloves in the background. It's a little bit sweeter on the cinnamon, so you get that sort of like cinnamon heart candies that you get around Valentine's Day. There's a little bit of that, more of that element there than, say, with traditional like spiced pumpkin ale or whatever, where you'd get more of the cloves coming out, and you get more of an allspice sort of thing. Maybe a little bit more ginger and shit. But yeah, I'm definitely getting those spices in there. Smells good. If you like that sort of thing. Honestly, I'm not that big on the spicy beers. But cheers, we'll go right to the taste and see what we think. Okay, interesting. Getting a very like you're basically tasting all the spices in this. Okay, you're not really getting the malt. You're not really getting the real beer flavor in this. It's much more about the spices combining to make different flavors. Also, they call this a traditional style English old ale, and the body is pretty weak for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, beer enthusiasts, but an old ale should probably have a bit more body than what's presented here. This is sort of like a light medium body at best. The spices are coming together. Again, the cinnamon is probably the most dominant one on here, followed by the ginger, and then you have sort of the cloves in the very back, sort of making sort of a bitter, sort of clovey finish with the hops, whatever hops are present. They say German hops, I guess, in that, so that would probably account for some of the earthiness in the background. It does sort of taste a bit like sweetened gingerbread cookies, interestingly enough, because you're getting a lot of like a sort of a caramelly molasses sort of flavor as well. So that's very nice. That's not bad. As far as spiced beers go, this one is not overly spicy. It's not that aggressive where you're just kind of sick of it. It's drinkable. And it makes a nice flavor. It definitely falls within that sort of, I guess, winter warmer category, although it's not really warming going down. But I've seen a lot of beers that have been called winter warmers, where they really don't have that alcohol warmth. They just have that sort of spiciness going down, and this sort of falls into that category, so I'll accept it as one of those. Is it great? Nah. It's interesting. If anything, I kind of applaud it for the spices coming together to make those nice flavors, and then not just ruining your palate with all kinds of aggressive spice attack. It's almost kind of subtle. So that's kind of nice. For a rating, I'll be a little generous, I think. Because it's very... Oh, excuse me. Big burp. The alcohol, you can't taste it. So, it's a very good, easy drinking beer. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I think I will. Very good job, Mill Street. A lesser brewery would have fucked this up big time. They really would have. I mean, when you're dealing with spices and stuff and you're trying to get that proper balance, it can turn into a real shit show. And Mill Street has managed to make all the spices they've dumped into this work really well. And they've come together to create a really nice flavor without, ruining your palate with all kinds of just shitty spices flying everywhere. So they have to be commended for that, and I'm going to say 4 out of 5. It's a decent beer. This is a winter's ale from Mill Street. I don't know if you can find it outside of their gift pack. I'm assuming you could probably find it on tap somewhere in Toronto on one of their locations or whatever. But it's actually really good. Good seasonal. So good job, Mill Street. And thank you for watching once again, ladies and joims. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.